Welcome everyone to our Occupational Health Section virtual annual awards luncheon and awards ceremony this year. It's great to see everyone's faces, if not see you all in person. My name is Kevin Riley. I'm with UCLA Loesch. I'm in Los Angeles, and I'm going to be your MC and your host for today. We've got an exciting program lined up. We've been able to create a program that somewhat mirrors the highlights of our regular in-person luncheons every year. So Deborah had sent around a copy of the program for today's ceremony. Maybe Deborah can send it, there we go, once more, so folks would like to follow along. You'll see what we've got planned for today. We're going to start off with our awards. We've got several awardees that we're going to be issuing awards to this year, followed by our skit. And then the last half hour of the program today has been dedicated to some time for breakout rooms. There's going to be some social time for folks to connect, have some social time, talk about some of the work we've all been doing during the pandemic. So that's an optional part of the program. The last half hour will be dedicated to that. A couple quick logistics and housekeeping issues before we get started. So please make sure your audio remains mute during the program. That way speakers will not be competing for sound. If there's any technical issues, if anyone has any problems, feel free to put the information in the chat box or reach out directly to Joy Pearson, who's providing technical assistance and support for today. So Joy can help you out. And with that, I think we are going to get started. And the first thing I'd like to do this morning is to hand off the mic to Celeste Monfortin, who's going to kick off our beginning part of our session today.
Hello, thank you, Kevin. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. In a weird way, I'm looking at the participants and I feel like I'm in a room in a convention center. So it's so wonderful to see everyone. I'm gonna share my screen. I hope you can all see it. We're going to take a moment to recognize all the workers across the country and across the globe who are risking their lives during the pandemic to provide goods and services for all of us. The term essential really does not go far enough to characterize their contributions during this pandemic. We are inspired by them, and like never before, we are witnessing workers. They're standing up for their rights, for health and safety protections, and they are walking off their jobs to make their demands known, and they're speaking up for themselves and notably for all workers across the globe. And we must continue to stand with them like never before. So a round of applause. Let's see those hands. At this time, we're going to take a moment of silence to remember all the workers who have died for COVID-19. So we're just going to take a moment of silence. Thank you. And the slogan that we all know, and that means more than ever, is we have to pray for the dead and we have to fight with all our might for the living. And something that is really important to us in the American Public Health Association, and especially in the Occupational Health and Safety section, is we're not just about research, we're about research and action. And so what I would like, and what I want to encourage everyone to do is to go into Google and Google APHA Action Alerts, and you will see a page that will come up like the page on the left-hand side of my screen. And these are available to us throughout the year. You can click on any one of those blue lines to pick your favorite public health topic. When you click on that, it's going to ask you for your zip code. If you know your zip +4, It can really identify easier your members of Congress. It'll then go to whatever line you, whatever topic you selected, you're gonna put in that zip code, and then it's gonna pull up this screen that's on the right, and you're gonna see your 2 senators and your member of Congress. If you wish to send one to just one of those individuals, you can just click off the other 2. So I'm going to be sending a message today to John Cornyn. He's running for office, so I want to send this message specifically to him. APHA kind of will populate that text box for you with some canned language, but you can always change that. So for mine, I put in, I changed the subject line specifically about COVID funding, and I make a point about, in the text I wrote, about the HEROES Act. And so I list on here at the bottom of the slide an idea you could put is specifically mention the HEROES Act, which is a bill that's introduced in the House and Senate. If our friends Richard Miller or Jordan Vera were on the call, they know they were instrumental in getting this legislation pulled together. This would require OSHA to adopt an emergency temporary standard. So I encourage you, whether now or at the end of the meeting, to do one of these action alerts. And our new incoming chair, Nancy Simcox, is committed this year to make this as a priority for her. Every month, we're going to try to get as many people in the section as possible sending one of these action alerts. We can develop our own. APHA makes it really easy to put these messages, send these messages to members of Congress. It's a very modest thing we can do, and do it every month. So with that, I'm going to turn this back over to Kevin for an amazing and wonderful program.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Celeste.